The only thing worse than a nightmare is a nightmare remade. A nightmare that knows your fears, that knows how to adjust its pacing, and knows exactly when to add a new detail to crush your last bit of sanity. We arrived at the hillside villa in Korg just as the monsoon began, not the romantic drizzles of Mumbai. This was a relentless downpour, a gray wall that blurred the sky and earth into one. The house, called Dewdrop, was a colonial relic, built of stone and dark tick, and it always felt damp. We needed this place. Me, Rohan, an architect who no longer designed, and my wife, Priya, a pianist who no longer played. We were here to remake our lives, to glue back the pieces after the day our daughter and I slipped by the bank of the Shipra River. The smell of the house was the first thing that hit me. Not the smell of new paint or polished wood. It smelled of mildew, of rotting leaves, and something sickly sweet. Jasmine, perhaps, but dead jasmine crushed into mud. Priya, wrapped in a pashmina shawl despite the lack of chill, just gave a weak smile. It has character, Rohan. I wanted to believe her. The first few days passed in a heavy silence. The only sounds were the drumming rain on the tile roof and the whir of the old ceiling fan. Priya spent most of her time sleeping, thanks to the small blue pills her doctor had prescribed. I wandered the rooms, trying to sketch, but the walls seemed to be closing in. The first anomaly happened on the fourth day. I was clearing out the old study, a small room overlooking the overgrown garden. When I found it, tucked behind a rosewood bookshelf, was a small rag doll. It was simply just 2 buttons for eyes, but it was wet. Soaking wet, as if it had just been dipped in water. I threw it out. Into the garden. I didn't want Priya to see it. Anything related to children was a landmine. That night, I heard the sound. Footsteps, not the heavy tread of an adult. This was a wet, slapping sound. Light, quick pat, pat, pat. In the marble hallway right outside our bedroom. I held my breath. Priya was breathing evenly beside me, lost in her artificial sleep. Pat, pat, pat. It stopped right in front of our door. A long, heavy silence. I could smell it. The smell of mud. Thick, acrid river mud. I sprang from the bed, yanking the door open. The hallway was empty. Nothing. Just thick darkness and the roar of the rain. But when I looked down, my heart stopped. On the stone floor, right where the sound had ceased, was a small, murky puddle, and in the puddle were tiny footprints. Muddy footprints. I cleaned it up. I told myself it was a leak, an animal, anything but the truth. But the house wouldn't let me be. It began to remake my fear. The next day, the swing on the back porch was moving on its own. It creaked in a familiar rhythm, a rhythm Anaya used to hum too. Squeak thud, but there was no wind. Absolutely no wind. Priya, for the first time in days, came out of the room. She stood at the door, air face pale. "Rohan," she whispered, "make it stop." I ran out and gripped the ropes. The swing fought against my hands, as if an invisible weight was resisting, before it abruptly went still. That evening, Priya didn't take her pills. "I want to be awake," she said, her eyes fixed on the dark corner of the room. I feel it watching. He felt it too. The air was thick, as if we were in a fishbowl, and something enormous was staring in. The slapping sound returned at 3 in the morning. Pat, pat, pat. This time, Priya heard it too. She gripped my hand, her nails digging into my skin. "What is that?" "Just the rain." "Love," I lied, but the words sounded hollow. Pat, 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 closer, right outside the door. Then, a new sound. A giggle. No, it wasn't a giggle. It was a gurgle, a wet, choking sound, as if someone was trying to laugh while drowning. I screamed. I couldn't help it. I lunged for the door, but before I touched the handle, something slammed against it from the other side. Thud, a heavy, wet impact. Then again. Thud, don't open it. Priya begged from the bed, her voice cracking. Please, Rohan, don't. I stood frozen, cold sweat pouring down my back. The thick tick door vibrated. Thud, thud. The smell of river mud was so strong it gagged me, and then it stopped. The silence was worse than the noise. I pressed my ear to the door. Nothing. Just the rain. I slowly turned the handle. No, Priya screamed. I opened the door. The hallway was empty, cold, but the muddy puddle was larger, and this time there was something in it. The ragdoll, the same one I had thrown away. It was lying on its back, its two button eyes staring at the ceiling. It was soaking wet. I stumbled back, slamming the door. I locked it. I dragged the linen chest in front of it. We have to go, I panted. Right now, we can't, Priya said, her voice terrifyingly calm. Don't you see? The rain is too heavy. The road is flooded. I looked out the window. She was right. The water had risen, turning the garden into a brown lake. We were trapped. The house seemed to know it. It started to be cruel. It started to use Anaya. The next day, we heard the piano. Priya bolted down the stairs. The old piano in the living room, the one she had refused to touch, was playing itself. It wasn't playing a full tune, just repeated notes. The lullaby, Shandamama, that Priya used to sing to an plank, 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 plank. The keys depressed on their own, coated in a thin layer of mud. That's when Priya broke. She slumped to the floor, holding her head, and began to cry, not sobbing. It was a desolate wail of absolute despair. I tried to pull her away, but she wouldn't move. It wants us to know, she choked out. It wants us to know how it took her. A chill ran down my spine. Priya, what are you talking about? Anaya. It was an accident. Priya looked up at me, her eyes red and wild. No, I was there. I saw it. I didn't tell you. Tell me what? It wasn't an accident, she whispered, trembling. She was playing by the river. She dropped her paper boat. When she bent to get it, I saw it. Just for a second, something was in the water. My head swam. You're lying. You were in shock. It had hands. Small. Priya continued, not hearing me. It pulled her under. It pulled her down. Rohana tried, but it was so fast. I just stood there and watched. I saw the mud bubble. Everything in me shattered. The lie we had built together, the thin wall protecting us from the truth, was destroyed. And right at that moment, as if on cue, the piano stopped. The house fell silent. A waiting silence. It knows, we know, I said. It's not Anaya, Priya said, getting to her feet. Her expression had changed. The fear was gone, replaced by a terrifying emptiness. Anaya is gone. This is just a remake. That's when I realized. The doll, the footsteps, the lullaby. They weren't our memories. They were a script, a play being reenacted. Who was here before us, Priya? Does it matter? We're just the newest cast. That night, the storm peaked. The wind shrieked through the crevices like a mourning soul. And the sounds began. It wasn't pat-pat anymore. Now, it was a drag, a heavy, wet scraping, as if someone was pulling a sodden sack across the hall. Shuff, shuff. It didn't stop at the door. It kept going towards the stairs. Going down, we were in the living room, both of us standing, afraid to breathe. The scraping stopped at the bottom of the stairs. Shuff. The silence stretched for a minute. 2. Daddy. A voice came from the darkness of the stairwell. A small voice, but not Anaya's. It was Arsair. Its throat was full of mud. Priya muffled her mouth, a strangled moan, escaping. "Daddy's not here!" I tried to shout, but my voice was just a dry whisper. The wet gurgle came again. Not a laugh this time. It was rage. A shadow detached itself from the darkness at the foot of the stairs. It was small as a 6-year-old. But it didn't walk. It scuttled. It moved on all fours, but wrong. Like a crab, its back was arched towards us. The smell of mud was suffocating. "What does it want?" I whispered, backing away, pulling Priya with me. "It wants to finish," Priya breathed, her eyes locked on the shadow. "The play, it needs an ending." The shadow began to move towards us, a horrible, skittering motion on the stone floor. We backed into the wall. Nowhere else to go. "Mommy?" The shadow lifted its head. In the dim light of the storm, I could see. It wasn't a face. It was just a matted mass of wet hair, caked with mud and rotten leaves. But underneath the hair, where eyes should have been, were 2 buttons. Shiny. Staring. I realized the doll wasn't a toy. It was a portrait. "Mummy!" It hissed again, the sound tearing the night. It lunged for Priya. I did what any husband would do. I shoved Priya behind me and stood in its path. I closed my eyes, bracing for the impact, for the cold, for the pain. Nothing happened. I opened my eyes. The shadow had stopped inches from me. It was looking at me. Its head was tilted, the gurgling sound echoing. Primer looked down. My hand! I was clutching something. I didn't know I had picked it up. It was cold and wet. It was the reg doll. Primera de Capta Italiano. I hadn't thrown it away the second time. I had hidden it in my jacket pocket. The shadow reached out a thin, mud-caked arm towards the doll. Its fingers were long and broken. "It doesn't want us." I realized a cold deeper than the rain running down my spine. "It wants this." I looked at Priya. She was staring at me, her face a mask of absolute horror, but not horror of the shadow. "Of me, Rohan," she whispered. "How long have you been here?" "What? We just arrived. 4 days." "No!" Her voice broke. "You lied to me. You said this was the first time." My head began to hurt. The walls seemed to be warping. "You found this house," Priya cried. "You said it was perfect. You said it would help us remake just like the last time. And the time before." The rain seemed to fade. The shadows gurgling seemed to fade. The only thing I could hear was the blood rushing in my ears. "I don't know what you're talking about." I lied. "The doll." Priya pointed at my hand. "You always find it. You always say you'll throw it away. But you never do." The shadow was still there, its arm outstretched. Waiting, I looked down at the doll in my hand. And I realized I remembered. I am not Rohan, the architect. I am not here to heal. Priya is not here with me. Priya is dead. Priya died years ago. She couldn't bear it after Anaya was gone. She followed our daughter into that Kashipra river. I am the only one left. I am the one who comes back to this house. Every monsoon, I am the one who brings the doll. I am the one who remakes this play over and over, hoping for a different ending, hoping that this time I can save them. The shadow in front of me is not a monster. It is me. It is my grief. It is the emptiness that Priya and Anaya left. It is the cold, the mud, the loss. It held out its other hand. "Daddy," it whispered in my own voice. I looked into its eyeless face. I was no longer afraid, just endlessly tired. I let the doll fall. The shadow picked it up, clutching it to its wet, gurgling chest. It looked up at me. The 2-button eyes shined. I sank to my knees. The floor was cold and wet, covered in mud. I reached out my hand. "Daughter," I whispered. The shadow moved. It didn't lunge it. Embraced me. The cold rushed in, A deep, river-bottom cold. The smell of dead jasmine was overwhelming. I heard Priya singing the Chanda Mama lullaby. I closed my eyes. The nightmare was over. The play was finally finished. Or perhaps it was just beginning again. This time, I had a new role. Thanks for watching until the end. What was your favorite part? Please let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to leave a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss my future content. Your support is my biggest motivation. Thank you all so much.